my fellow artists, and welcome back to Life Cues Week 10. I can't believe we're already at 10 weeks. Wow. So, I had all these grandiose ideas in my head of how I wanted to do my page, because I often will reflect on it before I do it and then, come down here and create it. But this time I'm so limited because in my head I had a big card, like maybe this size, and this is the size I'm working on. So that's what I got to deal with, folks. That's what I'm going to be working with. I'm just going to clip this down. I've got some of these really jumbo clips so that the page will kind of stay down a little bit there on the side. There. So today's question is, I'm just going to do some white painting on here. What is your most favorite quote, or what you might call a profundity? Something that is so profound that it just really moves you. Well, I want to show you guys something. Just a minute. Let me just get this slathered on here. It's way too much paint, Monica. Oh my goodness. I think I'll use, this technique where I take the card and scrape it, but I know I have way too much on here. Oh dear. But a profundity, something that moves your soul, something that you might want to write down and remember and use it later. And before I go on chatting about what mine is, I want to show you guys what I've been keeping for many, many years, and I've given them as gifts, and it's such a welcome gift. Let me just leave this right here to dry, and I will grab it. It's right initials on it, MML. This particular red, I think it's redwood, beautiful journal was given to me from my friend Teresa. You guys have seen Teresa in a lot of my vlogs, but she gave this to me for my 50th birthday. So it says, a gift from my dear friend Teresa for my 50th birthday. And that's just sealed. I always seal my letters with a seal, so that's just my seal. But it is full of profundities, like lyrics from a song, a quote, something that you hear, like this verse, it's full of them. And sometimes when I'm going to, look at this, when I go to write something in a card, you see, here is some here that I wrote on, like I'll be watching TV and I'll just scribble it on here. And it's just, they're so cool. And this is how I'm showing up. That was, I'm sure, Ilyana Vanzant aunt. That is her. Yeah, it is. I am my soulmate. Love is a verb. Look for the experience, not the feeling. You are what you attract. Like, it's just full of things that have moved my soul. And this is probably for the past 13 years. And so I would like to know what moves you. What moves your soul? What is a profound quote that you, of late, because, we change in life. What, mine used to be, this too shall pass. This too shall pass, because I was going through lots of health issues, and so it was this too shall pass. So these are great to have. I've got one that's kind of more like it's more like a composition book, but a glorified composition book. It's really, really pretty, and it's upstairs in my bedroom, and I just have them sitting all over the place, because sometimes you'll hear lyrics to a song and you're like, oh, those words, or a poem. My sister sent me the most beautiful poem today that it almost brought me to tears. It's absolutely beautiful. And I will be taking it and pasting it and putting it somewhere, because I'll probably put it in my profundity journal. This is just beautiful. Funny, when you start writing these profundities down, you start hearing them, if that makes sense. It's almost like when people say when they journal their dreams, then all of a sudden they start dreaming. It's the same thing. All of a sudden you're listening to the world in a whole different way. And even the most ordinary of circumstances can come along this profundity or this quote. So I want you guys to share with me and with all of us, what is your favorite quote or profundity? I call them profundities, but what is your most favorite quote of all times? So I'm going to dry this off. So for the background here, I just want to add some more texture. Kind of want to do this page in mostly white, but I'm going to add some texture. I just need to get some gel medium, which is way over here in the closet. I am back. So I'm going to put some gel medium down with a palette knife. Or I'll just use a paintbrush. I'll just use a brush. And I'm going to collage, or a foamy. I'm going to collage this onto the page, but I just want, it's like I'm collaging a doily, but I mostly only want the lacy bits of the doily, not the solid pieces, just to give it a little bit of interesting texture on the back. So my favorite quote of the last, probably, I want to say, for sure 5 years, maybe even longer. I'm telling you, it has gotten me through. I have been in such dark places with that pain, that trigeminal neuralgia pain that I had, until I had my brain surgery, which is almost a year ago. It was unbearable. And then I heard this quote. I can't even tell you where I heard it. It's like somebody threw me a life preserver and I was drowning and I heard this quote, and it just, for me, it was just one of those moments like, oh my God, that's going to get me through. And the quote is, it's in Latin, dum spiro spero, or dum spiro spero, which means, while I breathe, I hope. And there can't be anything more beautiful than that. Like, first of all, we can never, ever, ever lose hope. And as long as I am still taking a breath, I can still keep hoping that things are going to get better. Things are going to... It's my daughter texting me. Keep hoping that things are going to get better. That quote has just gotten me through... Oh, so many times, so many instances. I can remember just lying on my bed rocking and just saying over and over again, like, because it's such a kind of a meditative kind of a quote, dum spiro spero, dum spiro spero. And it's like, while I breathe, I hope. You cannot believe the beautiful text I just got from my daughter. She said, I'm so happy that you felt joy today. Oh, she's so sweet. Because I just said to her, I'm so full of joy today. I don't know why. I feel so good. Like, we went to Michael's, and I said, I feel so happy and just joy-filled. And she said, so she texted me and said that. Isn't that sweet? Oh, I'm just texting her back. You are so lovely. She just is. There. Anyway. While I breathe, I hope. You hope that you could ever get a text like that from your daughter or your child. Hope is, once we lose hope, that's it. We can never lose hope. We can't lose hope. And if all you can do is just say those words over and over again, either in Latin or in English, while I breathe, I'm hope. As long as I'm breathing, I can still be hoping. And it's just so true, because it's sort of like this too shall pass. But it's like I can't even describe it. It's kind of like you're witnessing or experiencing the passing of the terrible moment. So it's like, if I keep breathing, I just keep breathing, it'll go away, or it'll stop. The pain will stop, or whatever duress I'm under is going to end. And then it does. And it's so it just proves it to you all the more that while you breathe, never, ever give up hoping. And I love that quote so very much that when we renewed our vows on our 40th anniversary, we had a ring made. I have my ring on right now, and I will show it to you. And the ring, I wanted kind of a family ring with all my children on it. And I also wanted here, I'll show, wait, my hand's off. So this is the ring I had made. It was by a silver artisan on Etsy. And so these big stones, like that's Curtis, Jesse, and Deanne, because they're garnet ruby diamond. Those are their birthstones. And then the tiny little stones on the side, there's one tiny little sapphire there and another blue sapphire there. They're blue. Those are for the set of twins, Andrew and Paul, that I lost. So all my babies are represented on this ring. And then inside, she engraved my quote, Doom Spiro Spero. It's like right, I don't know if you guys can see it. Let me see. My hands have so much glue on them. Yes, I think you can if you look really, really close in there, if it'll focus. I don't know if it will. But anyway, it's engraved on the inside of my ring, Doom Spiro Spero. While I breathe, I hope. So it's always with me constantly. That is just, I don't know where the quote came from. I don't know where I heard it. But whoever said that quote, it totally touched me and moved me. And it has been like my anchor. So I would love to hear what your quotes are, because everybody, I'm sure, has some quote or something that they go by. And it doesn't always have to be deep and profound. It can be funny too, because some people say some things and they're so funny, but they mean, you know, they're like old grandmas, like my grandma. She used to always say, you know, when you're worrying about, oh, people are acting like this, and if I don't do this, they're going to do this, and I said I would do this, and if I don't come, they're going to be mad, and blah, 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 da, da, you know, those kinds of things my grandma used to always say. Let the heathens rage. So basically, let them rage, let them go crazy, you do whatever you got to do, but let the heathens rage, and you're not in that. And I used to always remember that, and I say that one a lot too. We have a lot of quotes, like a lot, but my personal favorite is Doom Spiro Spero. While I breathe, I hope. So that's what I'm doing this page on. And sorry for all the jingle jangling on my arm here. I forgot to take my break. So while I'm letting this dry, I have this tag I just made quickly, and this beautiful dove with a little message in its mouth. So I'm going to stamp that on there with this really pretty, I forget what color this is. It's Stampin' Up! Ink. I think it's Pacific, what is it called? Tempting Turquoise. There. So I'll move this out of the way, bring my tag in here, and ink it up really good. I don't even care, kind of like it a little bit not directly on center. Yeah, that's okay. No, I think I can do it on the other side. I want the bird more over, a bit more. Put it in this corner here. Like that, right up into the corner. And I'll take the molding paste and just slap that puppy down. And this is the molding paste. That's what it looks like. And we'll just put some of that in that corner there. You know, you can go to art supply stores and get these palette knives in packages of like, oh my goodness, probably a dozen, and they're like $2 or something because they're just plastic. And they're great for applying molding paste or anything kind of like that. I love this molding paste because it's lighter, but it'll still be raised. Okay, I'll lift that up a little bit. Come on. Oh, nice. Yeah, baby. I gotta let that dry, and then I'll come back and do the other corner. So I'm gonna let that dry a little bit, and then I'm gonna take a stencil. And I want to put a little bit of molding on this page because I kind of want it to have some texture to it too, because it's such a dinky little page. Let's see what we can do with this page. So I've got this, it's Rebecca Meyer Designs, and it's got all, you can see. So I'm just going to use probably maybe this in the corner here, because it's not a very big page, and I'm just trying to raise some of it up a little bit. So this one's stamped much better spatially where I wanted it to be. And then I'm going to take my little distressor thingamabobber, if it's handy here. I just had it, you know how that is? There it is. Kind of organized my room a little bit better in that I can find things. And I'm just going to drag it. That's why these are kind of good, because you can just drag it along without worrying about ripping anything. Where scissors, sometimes you can create something and then it'll rip it to smithereens. So yeah, I want to distress this tag a little bit. And then, me don't know what I'm going to do. I have no idea. Just playing as I go along. So it's going to be on here somewhere. See, it might even be too big already. Oh, so then I will take this end and a paintbrush and roll it over. Kind of like that. So it will fit. Yes. Sort of ish. There. Because a bird, a dove, always represents hope. And I know it's a white dove, but I didn't want white dove because the page is already so white. I'm going to ink around that tag with a little bit of this turquoisey ink. Just a little bit. There, that's pretty. And then I'm going to get some seam binding. Hope I have I love this kind of seam binding. So I think I have a pretty turquoisey color that might go with this. Gosh, I have a lot of this stuff. Christina Betts gifted me with so much of this, and then I had to go and buy some more because it was just so pretty. I might use this clothespin. Oh, that's gorgeous. Ooh, that's pretty. Or this one. Look at these beautiful I'm going to use this one. That is gorgeous. Problemo solved. Okay. See, it's funny, in your own stash, you've got things that are just absolutely... And this ribbon here, I bought this. This is a Japanese silk ribbon. So I think what I'll do is I'll just put it through there anyway. So I just want it to hang down. And then I'm going to take a Sharpie and write on here, Dum Spiro Spero. And then place it. I really just want that free hanging. Do you know what I mean? Know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying, peeps? Kind of like that. Okay, I'll be back. So here is my finished page for week 10. So what I did, if you can see, I added some stickles in the background of the bird. That little, let me see if I move it around, you'll be able to see the sparkles. So hard to tell. There you go. Can you see? Sort of sparkly in the back. And then you can see that ink is not permanent because a little bit of stickles gone on it and it smudged a bit. So I've got Dum Spiro Spero, while I breathe I hope, and I curled down the end. And then to add to the page, I just typed on the computer, most favorite quote, March 6, 2015. And yeah, just inked around it. And then this beautiful, beautiful ribbon. This dyed, it's actually silk, dyed silk ribbon. And that beautiful clothespin. And the page doesn't need any more. It's a small page anyway. And I'm very, very happy with how it turned out. So you see, never give up hope, even when you're doing a scrapbook page. So I cannot wait to hear your favorite quotes. I love quotes, and I'm going to probably write them all down in my Profundity journal. And you know, that might be something you might want to start up making. You can just do it in like a composition book from the dollar store. Just start writing, because it's not the book, it's the contents that are so wonderful with that. Whenever you want to write a greeting card to somebody and you just can't find the right words, you can always refer back to your own quotes journal or Profundity book or whatever you want to call it. So thanks so much for watching, everybody, and we'll see you next week. Next week's going to be challenging because I've got that this card with the hole in it. So I got to figure out what I'm going to do with that. Okay, we'll see you next week. Bye.